Go ahead and call the June 16, 2026 meeting to order, and welcome everybody. It's good to see everybody, and hope everybody is doing well. I want to mention a couple of things before we go any further. We are coming up on the anniversary, 250th birthday of our country, and I have been presented with a copy of the Declaration of Independence. It looks like it's on parchment paper, but it's about this big, and it has about this much room at the bottom. And each government has been given that, and it will be available to you to sign if you'd like, so you can say you signed the Declaration of Independence. We'll have it in that room in there, flat out on the table. And I'll have it in there tomorrow where if you want to stop by, you can. You don't need to write a message or say happy birthday USA or anything. Just sign your name so there'll be enough room to get as many people on there that wish to sign it. I hope that's a problem. I hope we have more people wanting to sign than we have room. But it's donated to us by the Major David Wilson chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution. And going along with that, on the 4th of July at 9 o'clock in the morning, at the Wilson County Courthouse, they are going to gather, and there will be a reading of the Declaration of Independence. And they've asked 13 people to read for the 13 colonies, and they've asked me to do one, and I'm glad to do that. I think that'll be kind of unique. I hope it's well attended, but these folks are they're excited about it. And the gentleman, Richie Boughton, that brought me the declaration this afternoon, said that they expect to have a float in our 4th of July parade. And they will be in costume. Some of them will in period costume. So they want to be in the no squirt zone. And I said, we'll announce that and try to honor that. But you know, once you get rolling, all bets are off. But hopefully people will respect that. So that'll be kind of neat to have them in the parade. And you're welcome to, between now and the 4th of July, to sign that. And then after that, we'll get it framed in a real nice frame and hang it somewhere here where it will be here for the future. And your children or grandchildren can come by and say, my mom or dad signed the Declaration of Independence in Watertown.
Mayor Mike, where did you say they were going to be reading at the Lebanon Courthouse?
At the Lebanon Court, the one on Main Street at 9 o'clock. And the other thing I want to mention is, on a much more somber note, Jeff Jones has been very instrumental in helping us with our turntable. And he has done a lot of work. He works out of Washington, D.C. He's been very instrumental in it. Jeff lost his dad over the weekend, Mr. Don Jones. Don served on the county commission back in 2009 and 2010 while Jeff was deployed to Iraq. So fine gentleman, I remember him, and just as, to be honest with you, the type of person that needs to be involved in government. Fine man, hate to hear him passing, but remember Jeff and his family, if you would. So just wanted to get those things out, because once we get into our meeting, as y'all know, I forget things, and I always forget to ask if there's anybody out there who wants to ask questions. So hopefully I'll do better during this meeting. If you'll bow with me, we'll have a word of prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, we're thankful for this day, for another day of life. Lord, we're thankful to live in a free country, and we're thankful that we have that right as we anticipate the 250th birthday. We also lift up to you Jeff Jones and his family and the loss of his dad. And we know there are others that have lost loved ones here in and around Watertown the last few weeks. We pray that you'll continue to be with them, give them healing, give them strength as only you can provide. We pray that you'll continue to bless this community and bless its people, bless our employees and their families. We ask now that you go with us and forgive us our sins. Amen. All right, I don't know what I've done with my agenda. But I believe the next thing on the agenda is always the approval of minutes. So let's do that. Y'all had a chance to look at them?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? I vote aye as well. Okay, and then public business, we're at that point where if anybody would like to address us about any issue, feel free to do so, and I'm not being disrespectful. While you're talking, I'm gonna try to find my copy of the agenda. Come on up, Mr. Rich.
Yeah, it's not an issue, I just got to bring some attention.
Well, it don't have to be an issue. It can be
Yeah.
praise or whatever
Brian
you wanna do.
Rich, representing the Watertown Library. Just here to let you know that in July, there's gonna be 2 events coming up. On July 17th at 11 a.m. I have the Tennessee State Parks coming out to do an animal adventure with the children at the library. I plan on taking up like 3 parking spots so they can park their trucks and stuff. Just bringing that to your attention. And then on the 20th, that's another event. We're gonna do story time in the gazebo there on the square. Shouldn't hinder traffic or anything. So just letting you know that we got things going on for the children here in town.
When's the gazebo?
July 20th. And that one's at 11 a.m. as well.
That's perfect.
Both of these will run about an hour and then we'll be out of the way.
You've done a lot of good things over there. I see it on Facebook, kids that reach
Oh,
a
thank
certain
you.
level and
Yeah.
you're gathering them all together. You're a brave man, to put a bunch of kids like that.
Yeah. Luckily, the high school has been generous and let me use their space this year for the summer, so we've been rocking and rolling.
Well, keep up the good work.
Well, thank you.
Anybody got
I'll try.
questions of Ryan?
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you, buddy. Come on up, Miss Vicki.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I got a note here that I'm glad you're here, so I didn't give me a chance to forget.
Oh, good, thank you. Yeah, I just have two quick things. And I've talked to the ladies in the office about the possibility of having an inflatable on July the 8th, which is a Wednesday, on that grassy area behind the parking lot or the drive-through for the bank, we're doing a Bible study, a summer Bible school for kids, and from 6 to 7, we wanted to put an inflatable on that land, on that area, and the bank told us that they gave that to the city, and that might be on your agenda, or one of the ladies might have said something to you, but that was one of the things that I wanted to see if that would be all right. We don't expect many people. I mean, we're a church it's the Church of the Nazarene, Watertown Church of the Nazarene, and we actually operate out of the depot now, but it's
Okay.
going to be a good thing. It's going to be open to all the kids, and it's just going to be an hour from 6 to 7. I mean, it may take an hour to set up and that, but I didn't know if that was on there or not.
So let's get that out of the way for you if we could.
Okay.
They had asked you about a certificate of insurance and you got
Yes,
that?
we'll have certificate of insurance, and we can also make the city an additional insured on the insurance.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Yes, we can
So-
definitely do that.
It's on our property, that just protects us, and I don't know of anything else going on. Glad
Oh,
to
no,
see
we-
somebody use it, so. Hope you have a lot of kids there.
Thank you.
We good with that? Everybody good? Okay.
Thank you. And then the second thing was, I just wanted to thank the council. Y'all have been so good. As a representative of Historic, I'm the treasurer this year, and you were kind enough to give us money towards fixing the Atwood House's roof. We were having some real rain issues, some real leaking issues, and you were kind enough to give us funds towards that. We have been able to mitigate the rain coming in with the funds that you gave us, and we still have funds left over to fix the ceiling, because what happens when the rain comes in. And I did get some bids today on that, and I just wanted to let you know that we are going to be able to get the ceiling back to normal, still with the funds that we still have. It's going to be somewhere between $600 and $800. That will still leave some funds, about $300 to $400. And we would just ask if we could maybe use the rest of those funds towards the continued work that might be needed on the Atwood House. That's all.
We good with that? We
Thank
can't miss what we ain't got. You've already got it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are any of the artifacts or anything did they get damaged by the rain?
Actually, no, we were very fortunate in that where it came down onto the glass. The worst of it is what it's done on the ceiling. It's done it in the ceiling in more than just one place. So we want to get several areas fixed. And this young man that we've contracted he's got 7 children, and his kids are all wrestlers, and he looks like a wrestler too. So yeah, he's a good community member, and he's going to take care of it. So
Good.
thank
Good.
you. That was just where we were having some conflict as to what do we do with additional money, and is it okay for us to be able to use it for other maintenance reasons for the Atwood House?
Well, the archives, my opinion, I think it'll be shared. The archives are a vital part of our community, important part, like the library, the different things that are going on. So I'm glad that you'll be able to stretch that money. You got a future in politics, you can stretch money that far.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have a docent now too, and that's working out really, really well. So
Okay.
it's really all good. So yeah, I
Okay.
feel like that's important. The most important thing that we do is historic is Atwood House.
I'm a history nut.
All right, I appreciate your help. Thank you.
Anybody else?
I was asked by Tim Burns to bring this up. He couldn't be here tonight. He's the youth pastor at Water's Edge Church. He's asking permission to use the park pavilion and the outfield of the softball field on July 7th through the 9th from 12 to 4 for a day camp that they're doing for church. I didn't know if there was anything they needed to do to get permission on that, or?
Provide certificate of insurance and let's vote to do it, because they've had
Okay.
day camps over here before.
Okay.
That run
I'll let them know
weeks, so, everybody okay, understand what the request is at Round Lake Baptist Church?
Water's Edge.
Water's Edge, excuse me. July 7th through 9th to use the pavilion, and 7th through the 9th?
So
But
I
it'll
think
be
it's,
in the afternoon,
12 to 4. he
okay,
said.
because they play softball over here at 6, so
Okay.
they won't overlap. Anybody make a motion to approve that?
I'll make a
Motion we can approve that, we have certificate of insurance.
I'll second it.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Glad to see the park used, like to see it full. Anybody over there in TV land or whatever? Nobody? Okay. Anybody else here? All right, we'll go to our reports. Chief Henderlight would have been first tonight. He has given you a report. He asked earlier today if he could not be here tonight. They are having a baseball banquet for his son's team, and he asked for permission to be gone. They're having a baseball ceremony and food, which that makes it important. Anyway, he's not here. I've said too much. But he left a report there. I don't know if anybody has any questions or not. If you do, let me know what they are and we'll get them to him.
And we heard back once from the AT&T about the button on the wall.
Yeah.
They asked for some more information, and he had sent it to them, but we haven't heard back from them since. So
Okay.
we're still waiting on them to come up here and look at what we have.
So that's in the works. Okay,
Waiting on them. They seem to be a little slow in their
Okay.
actions.
good, good. All right. Move on to the fire report. New fire chief, Joe Decker. You don't want to be police chief, do you, Joe? No. Okay.
Outside the report I gave, nothing big to report. I did want to kind of talk about what happened on the 31st, our handover I thought it was pretty cool, worth sharing. Blake pulled his last shift on the night of the 31st. So we had about 15, 16 people down at the fire hall that we stayed the night and kind of rode out till midnight. About 11 o'clock, we got in the engine and went around town and kind of did like a last ride. So we drove around and looked at all the places that have had fires over the years and kind of big coals, and talked a little bit about history. And I saw this happen on this street, and some of that was getting into some witnesses for some things that we probably shouldn't talk about, but it was a good ride. So we come back, filled up the truck, and right about 11:55, we got back to the station. And at 12 o'clock on the dot, we shook hands and did a trade-off, and after that, we went to bed. But it was a really cool night. We had a lot of stories. We fellowshipped. We did a dinner. I think we ate about 7:30. So it was a really, really cool handoff that we did.
Good.
We got him a gift. Hopefully he doesn't hear about it, but we have a pretty big deal to give to him. I think we're going to do it at our year-end banquet.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to be present to that, I'll make sure you get an invite. And it'll be our big retirement gift to him.
Okay.
But outside of that, that's all I got.
You gave me, perhaps, I think you gave everybody a breakdown on that grant. Is there anything we need to do
Yes, sir.
on that?
No, sir, that was just informational. If there's anything that you guys want to see in our fire report, by all means, reach out. But I just thought that would be a cool thing to throw in there, so you could kind of see what that money is for. I think you've probably saw the amounts a couple of times, but probably not what that specific equipment is. So I just thought that was some information to share.
And as I recall, that was a 100%.
It is,
grant?
yes, sir. Both of those. Those are state of Tennessee programs. One's on the rescue side, one's on the fire side, but both are 100% funded, so no match on our end.
We like those. Any more of those
We
out there
very much
floating
do.
around?
There'll be one coming up pretty soon. We're in the FEMA season right now. That's kind of tied up until the 22nd. And then after that, I predict the VFEE coming in. Look through the Facebook. We just got our delivery of canned water. It's Anheuser-Busch water. It looks very similar to other things out there on the market, but we've got a pallet that stands about 8 foot high of canned water that we've got over there. So that was a grant program. It's kind of weird to just get water, but it is a grant program that we received, and it's basically rehab water. So we apply for it, and they delivered it a few days ago. So
I don't guess
cool thing.
I've ever asked anybody this or ever occurred. Does Rehab 23 support y'all when y'all
It
go out
does.
on a major fire?
Yes, sir. It sure does.
That's a good organization.
We typically don't make the request, but if we get something, because we're there and typically the county as well, that somebody will make that call. But yes, they come in.
Okay.
We're good.
How about your roster? You full? You got 20?
No, sir. I wish we did. We're probably around the 15, 16 mark on paper.
Okay.
Actively, a little less than that, but we're getting back. I've got a lot of recruits in the pipeline. I've had a lot of phone calls the last week or so. I'm kind of revamping that recruitment process. So we're a little down as of right now, but I'd say a couple of months we should be back
Okay.
to decent standards.
Good. Other questions?
I have a question. I had
Yes, ma'am.
someone from the community ask about who is the assistant chief now that the chief, and if you were to get called out for deployment, who would be that person that comes in?
Currently, we don't have one. We're searching for that to fill up. I've got some officers that potentially will bump up into that. Nobody has been placed in that position as of right now.
Will you just let us know when that
Of
is,
course.
so we know?
Yes,
for
ma'am.
security,
Of
If
course.
you were to get called with that.
Get you a new
Hopefully that
shirt.
doesn't happen.
You're not the assistant chief anymore. Get you a new
It's,
shirt.
it's on the shopping list. It's on the shopping list.
Other questions? All right. Thank you, chief.
Yes, sir.
Do have something that I'd like to look at their fire hall.
Yeah?
The police station and the fire hall both have a fairly large number of lights out
Okay.
inside. Also, the backup generator system is working on its thing, but their system isn't linked to everything, just red switch items in there.
Okay.
I'd like to look at maybe electrician coming and just at least moving it where emergency power works for at least 2 of the bay doors, because they're currently hand operated if the power goes out. And there is a red box next to both of them, they're just not wired to the actual door, so it wouldn't take much to cure it, but
Well, it needs to be cured now.
yeah, and they need some lights. The police department and the fire department are
Okay.
totally.
You hearing what we're talking about, Joe?
Yes.
The generator? You got somebody that can work on that for us, get them?
Not offhand, I could track somebody down.
Well, you got somebody, Kyle, you thinking
I
about?
think I got somebody.
Jeff?
It's in.
Is there a separate meter for that box, for the main power?
There is a separate junction for the June track system that ties into the main system out in the building on the
Is there a
end.
meter on the building? Does that building have its own meter?
I think it does, doesn't it?
The building does, it's
Yeah.
not split between the three
No,
entities.
it's all one
Do
thing.
you know how
And
many amp service it is?
I do not, and there's many separate fuse panels inside the building, so.
They make a meter, it's not the meter is all by itself, but they make an adapter that goes between the meter and the box. And you plug that cable in and it automatically shuts the power and turns that on, so.
You mean the generator? No, that does have, it has a automatic subsystem already. Well, what I'm asking is, there are fuse panel boxes, separate junction boxes, they're red boxes for generator only. Like their switches are for certain lights come on when the generator works, for certain sections work with the generator. There are boxes already pre-wired beside the garage doors, but they're not wired to the garage doors. So they put the box in, but they never come back to wire it to the door. So all it needs is, a foot section of cable cord and conduit, and they'll be ready to rock and roll. Hopefully the power doesn't go out, and hopefully they never have to use them, but, yeah. Anyways. Yeah, no, they've got if power kicks over there, it automatically kicks on. It is full system. So they got a diesel and everything. It works, yeah.
We need to get that.
Yeah.
You got somebody?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I can get somebody to do that.
And you said there were lights out in both places?
It's just, I was in the other day looking around at other stuff and looking at those boxes, and there are just quite a few, just,
Since,
most of their stuff, none of it's really converted to LED on the actual lighting of the building, which would save in energy consumption also, but if we replace lights that are out and replace them with LEDs, it'd probably be great.
let me see if, since that building's Hab County, let me see if I can get the county.
I hadn't
Oh, that's it
went
first.
for that yet, but yeah, I know the police department in their main office and a couple of the other offices, the lights aren't necessarily bad, the actual ballasts, because they're using fluorescents, have gone
Okay.
out in a few areas, so even if you change lights, there's anything there, but if
Yeah.
we put LEDs in, you delete the ballast and you just put LEDs in, so it deletes, it's actually cheaper in the end to LED it. but-
I'll ask Mayor Hutto to have his guy take a look at that.
As far as the generator, I know Hinterline has had a service recently.
Yeah,
I just don't know who he used.
yeah.
So we might have to get with him and see who he has serviced.
Yeah, he had a company that come out to do it, I don't remember their name, but I talked to them when I was there the first time, and got it back working again, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Chief, we had a lot of discussion about your department while you were sitting down there. All right. Anybody else got any questions, comments on fire? Dale? You're the last man up tonight out of the three, but you'll be first next month.
All right. I don't have a whole lot this month. One thing, the sewer plant generates sludge we dispose of, and historically it'd been the Smith County landfill with Wilson County helping us, and that hadn't been done in a year or so, and it's gotten kind of expensive. And I plan on looking at possibly doing some land application to solids instead and seeing if that's a more cost-effective means for us. And it may help us with some phosphorus removal also, rather than dewater and possibly taking some liquid out on some hay fields and stuff. But we have permits for a full year now still to go to landfill, but before we get new permits applied, we'll try to see if there's a more cost-effective way to do that. Beyond that, I don't have anything for you this month.
And I go back
Mm-hmm.
when your dad was doing this, and we had farmers who would beg for that stuff.
Yeah, it's
Put it on
good.
the-
It's good to put on the hay fields. We had a real good deal going where we were dewatering and sending to landfill, and it was pretty cheap for us for a long period of time. But Smith County landfill lost their ability to take special wastes, so we can't send it anymore, and we're sending it all the way to other side of Murfreesboro,
Okay,
and it's gotten expensive.
okay. But can we still spread it can farmers still use it?
They can, well, I have to get another permit for it. I'll have to get a permit to do land application. Right now, we don't have permits for land application. But like I said, our permits expire in about a month anyways, and when I'm renewing to do the sampling, you know, I have to run samples and tests, and I don't think it's a lot more to go ahead and get it approved for both. That way, we'll have the opportunity to do either or.
Okay,
Does
Have
land
options.
application fall in the area of compostable? If you couldn't get rid of it to someone, could you put it in the compost section?
This has to be put on, specifically on crop fields, such as a hay field or a corn field or something like that with a crop that's removed off of it. The state doesn't want excess nutrients built up in the fields is the ideas behind that. If there's a crop removed, hay or something like that, then there's not gonna be nutrients built up.
All right.
okay. Other questions?
Yes. I had someone ask me about test kit. They have gotten a hard water machine, whatever, in their house, and they wanted to know if we had anything that we could say where our hardness was. Where they could get that information.
That's more on the drinking water side. I'm not sure what they do as far as testing on the drinking water side, but we have pretty hard water.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
two different sizes.
Yep. We have testing, and I'm sure JC can be asked, and yeah, she's got it. Okay.
Yeah, talk to JC.
That's why I
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've heard you and Janelle both say, I do dirty water now.
I remember that now.
There you go.
All right, any other questions of Dave? Okay, thanks, Dave.
All right.
All right, we're ready for Parks and Recreation. Mr. Tunks is here tonight.
Passes to everybody. We've been looking at these lights, and I say we, Steve and I, have been looking at them for a year and a half. Something like that. There's 48, about 48, I think we can replace, let me say it this way, we can replace with LEDs, 24 on the big field and 20 on this field. The price of those lights is about 11,000 to replace them. And that's the light, to do it with. I am by no means wanting to do this. And I say that because I don't want to be up on a 50-foot lift. Taking the ones down that are up there is the biggest thing. And I think we've kind of agreed that they look horrible. And so we could replace just the one, just put new lights on the poles and leave the old ones up there. But I think if we're going to go to that expense to do it, we ought to go ahead and take the ones down that are there. What I'm proposing is basically we can do it, and I say me and my company can do it for about 25 because I'm not going to go up there for free. I'm proposing this on the basis if y'all want to bid this out, just so you understand what the bid will be. But basically, I'm just charging for our labor to be on a 50-foot lift. I think there's 22 poles, 22 times. And what I've narrowed it down to is about 25 grand for everything. The city, of course, I would like to buy the lights simply because we can eliminate the tax by doing that. And I think we can cover the miscellaneous stuff in that price. We'll have to have boxes and some wire and some mounts. I don't really want to use the ones that are up there because they've been there for at least 30 years because that's how long I've been here.
So this project would take down the bad lights, let's say.
Take down the bad
And
lights.
then we'd have them available to surplus if somebody starting a ball field wanted them.
Yes, but I have somebody that will take them if we don't want to do anything with them. Now, we can try to sell them.
Well, I've
But-
almost got to, Jeff.
I understand.
City property surplus.
We have no choice in that.
No.
surplus.
You're talking about think you mentioned it to me the other day, didn't you, about this, a couple of weeks ago? Or somebody did, about using ARP money? About using ARP money with set aside for parks?
Yeah, I think that's what, the park fund still has still has ARP money left
Yeah,
that has to be utilized by the end of this
September.
calendar, year.
yeah, but, yeah, okay.
This calendar year, not this budget year.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking September 30th, that's even better for that. So, the proposal would be to buy the LED lights, put them on both fields, and.
Using the existing wiring that's already there.
And while they're being installed, take down the lights that will be higher.
Well,
These won't be sitting up as high.
we probably, if we're gonna go up that high, we'll probably do all the work and just put them up that high.
Okay,
Unless there's some reason that these lights, which these lights are brighter, so they should more than be adequate to shoot from up there. And so working up there, it'd be a lot simpler just to do it all at that height. And
Yeah.
originally, we'd talked about, we don't have to go that high, but in the grand scheme of things with a ball field, you want them as high as you can get them.
be a very nice improvement. Very nice.
And the electrical usage would be a third
Yeah,
when they're on. So,
yeah.
So, Jeff, have we done any research about how to set the angles on these new lights when they're up there to get adequate coverage?
there is a laser that we'll have that we'll be able to direct with that laser to the field so we can see where they're
What
actually
areas
playing.
each light pole would light, so you don't end up with dark spots or?
Right. But these are a little wider, so I think they'll give us more than adequate coverage for what we're trying to do. And we can test them every evening. So, not that I want to go back up there again, but it will be, we'll be able to do that over the week. We're figuring it's going to be every bit of a week.
When you're talking about doing it.
I'm not, but
I'm
Soon as-
all that, yeah,
as soon as we can, yes. We just, the rental of the piece of equipment, so we want to try to get 5 days of dry. We're not out there in the rain trying to do it. So anytime we can pick a 5-day period that we can get it done, that's what we're going to do.
and this cost, this 25 would be all inclusive.
That's everything. That's the
That's
lights,
lights, the
yeah,
lift.
the light, the lift, everything, yeah.
So that would be the city buying the fixtures for
Yeah.
sales tax purposes?
Yes.
And you completing the installation process?
And again, feel free to bid it. It will not hurt my feelings if somebody came back in and said 24.5, promise you. But
Well, now that you've said that, they probably would.
I can promise you, have at it.
I don't want
Yeah.
to go up, I don't want to be any higher than what
But-
I'm right now.
But that's basically,
Well, I think we could arrange that, in such a way we're buying the lights. There is a bid limit where anything below that you're supposed to get, you don't have to do the bidding but you're supposed to make telephone calls and see what they can do. Well, we
Yeah.
can do that, but if you want to approve tonight, doing this project out of that ARP money not to exceed 25,000, I'm okay with that. I'll have to put it in the budget for next year before Monday night, but I can do that too. That sounds like a winner to me. It sounds like a good investment. We've got what now? Baseball, softball, t-ball, football,
Soccer.
soccer, who knows what else
yeah.
we'll have, in the Purple Warriors League. I'm still tickled to death with that.
Yeah.
So we're getting a lot of use out of it. It's not like we're,
These are, and I believe, you may check, I think they were 40 or 50,000 hour lights.
okay.
So I think there's an hour thing on it. I've looked at a bunch. There was one that was 50,000 hours, but
50,000 hours of service life.
Yeah, so, that's,
Would probably be the biggest improvement we have made since the baseball field. We built a wall down there and put the screen up and all of that. So we've gotten a lot of life out of these fields. And the high school at one time and the middle school still. By the way, they voted to fund the middle school last night, so we will have one by 2028. I think they said it'd be open July 1, 2028. So, I'm okay with that, but I don't get to make a motion.
I would like,
One question, I know we're putting the 25 cap. Do we need to break out the material costs versus the labor costs into two figures to determine whether we need to bid it or not?
and I can break that down a little farther for you.
I'm just
Just so
asking,
you know what, kind of where the,
procedurally, I'm just asking.
Yeah,
Where
I
the-
don't think so, as long as we don't get over that 25.
Yeah, yeah.
The bid, and I'm sitting here thinking, and it's late in the day, but I think the legislature has approved raising the bid limit to 25,000, but I don't think we have raised ours. I think we're at 15 or 20. So, we can maybe fix that next month. Yeah, we can fix that next month. I'll make sure about that. I told you right. I don't want to tell you wrong.
I put 3 poles up. Didn't think about it till I got up here in front of y'all about it. Asking permission was one of those things that it was there and I could get it done, and so I did it. But there's 2 poles on this basketball court, and there's one on the playground. The thought was we had the lights left over from the little field, the solar lights. Is putting at least one on the playground, because at night there's kids all over the playground over there. I wanted to, when we do this project, try to look at that box. I asked Bobby and them y'all had to pull that pole, have you? Okay. To not pull that other pole that's there that I think we were supposed to do something with, leave the conduit and everything there. And if I can, I want to run one of the lights like we got over there on that pole for the basketball court with a timer. But I think maybe y'all ought to decide whether you want people playing basketball over there till 9 or 10 or whatever you can set the timer for, but we could do that, without a lot of effort, so.
We actually have kids, as you know, that play over here and they pull their cars up and leave the lights on and play.
I know, that's, so,
Are you talking about a timer where you can come up and they can turn it to 30 minutes and then have to reset it?
I was thinking more of a day,
Automatic.
yeah, an automatic, that just automatically shuts off at 10 o'clock or whatever you want to make that.
Well, I guess my thought is, does it need to be on every night if no one's playing? Having that manual where they can come on and then shut everything off at 9:30.
I hate to say it, but people are kind
Yeah.
of rough on stuff.
Yeah, they'll
sometimes.
destroy it if we,
Yeah.
I don't know about the internet, how much internet, if we have internet coverage over there, but we could do it
I don't know the answer.
wirelessly and set them programmed through wireless and just have them cut on or off, or, I don't know, you could even do motion.
I was, that's what I said, maybe we could do motion with the hard cutoff at 9:30. And when someone's out there using it, they'd come on, when someone's not out there using it, they wouldn't come on, and then we shut them down at a certain time.
You need a decision on that?
No, it's not, just, like I say, while we're here, when we come down here to do the rest of this, I was gonna try to do it then, because I'll have everything to do it pretty easy, and so mounting those other lights is not a big deal, the solar one over there, but I set the pole in a spot where I could put a solar light on the back side of the middle pole, so I could have one each way, even though one light on the hardwired light would be enough to light that basketball court. But I was thinking about putting one in a solar or something on each side of the middle pole and then one on the far pole, so we could have light there. I don't know how long they last. When they come on, how long the battery lasts. It's a solar battery, so I don't know. It may light it up till 3 in the morning, but there would be light over there, so.
All right, what's the pleasure of the council?
I make a motion for us to get the new lights installation where we're not exceeding $25,000.
I'll second that motion.
Discussion? You ready to vote? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, now that's gonna come out of next year's budget, so I'll have it in there Monday when we do our second reading.
And then on the other lights, just having it lit up looks good. And for the safety, we're saving the 1/3 by putting the new lights. If that's, it just looks when people drive by and the safety of police going by there. I personally like the thought of it being just lit up. Welcome to our community, you know, it just looks.
These have they call it a sun whatever, but you won't get near the brightness back into the city, so hopefully it'll keep the light down as much as, it won't look near as bright over there as it.
Like that church parking lot.
Yes, but it should help some with that as well, so focus it all right there. And if somebody comes up and wants to look for a different light, that's just the best one for the price that I came up with, and the wattage and the lumens, because I'm just trying to match the lumens that are coming off those. I think they're metal halide, so that was the only thing that I was looking there. But
Okay.
thank you.
You had a pretty good lift tonight.
Believe me.
Appreciate you. I'm kidding, appreciate you, that's a good thing, that's a good investment. Did we vote? We didn't, did we? Did we? Okay, well, I voted aye. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go to the Railroad Museum. Mr. Ferrari is here.
Not a whole lot tonight. A couple of things, talked with Nashville Steam. So I mentioned last time about getting close to the test. They're planning on doing a steam test mid-July. So that's pretty exciting on their part. And I think they're going to kind of make a big deal out of it. So, because it's the first time they actually have to build a fire and fill it with water and all that kind of stuff. So they're going to plan to do that mid-July. They're going to do a media thing around the whole thing, getting the fire going, and then the FRA comes in the next day. They do an actual steam test, and as long as they pass that, then it's, no pun intended, but literally full steam ahead, putting it back together, and they'll be able to start kind of putting a schedule together of when it'll be on the track and testing and that kind of stuff. So they're rounding third base for sure, and they're pretty excited about that. So that's pretty cool, for sure. I had lunch with Terry Bebout today, and a couple of projects I mentioned last time. Again, they're very supportive of the boxcar and the caboose restoration stuff. So, and he's kind of like everybody, Nashville Steam and everybody around, waiting for this last meeting, and excited to round third base with that kind of thing. So I think they feel the same way as we've talked about. Once that happens and we get that first scoop of ground going, things will start really moving. And again, people, come in the store all the time, very excited about the whole thing. So I keep telling people we're this close.
Yeah, we think we're having that meeting day after tomorrow at 11 o'clock, and we're
mentioned
hoping
that,
that they'll tell us that we passed the goal line.
Yeah. So they're, he was asking, they're excited about it, kind of thing. So, they're feeling really good about, we started talking about, what kind of equipment to put on the rail yard and things like that. So they're ready to go. And then lastly, I just sent our new edition of the Whistle Post, sent that to the printer. So this edition is really focused on Watertown. We got a nice welcome letter from Mike. I did call April to see if I could get a little picture of you smiling, but we didn't have anything, so
And
we're not gonna do
It
that.
just ain't there. I've had my picture made twice today, I feel like I'm in a zoo. I just don't smile well.
Right. So.
I laugh, but I.
Right, no. So anyway, nice welcome letter from the mayor, some Watertown history, historic has a nice piece in there, chamber, some things like that, so. And then the issue next spring will focus on Nashville Steam. So I think it's kind of a good succession here and good timing on that, so we're excited about that, so. That's all I got.
Appreciate what you're doing and, you know, sometimes like on the turntable and the other projects we've done, it seems like things are not happening, but they are. People are moving and it's a process.
Yeah.
And, kind of like making sausage, sometimes it ain't pretty, but you get a finished product.
Right, yeah, there's a lot going on, and people ask regularly, like I said, and it's good to communicate, you know, just, as long as they feel like there's something happening and, you know, what the status is and when the next meeting is, I think there is a lot of enthusiasm about the entire, you know, aspect of what this encompasses, you know, in the next couple of years, so, anyway, thank you.
Any questions? Appreciate you, Chris. All right, Miss Laura, you gonna tell us about civic planning? Y'all met last night?
They're gonna be on dates before our July 20th meeting, so we'll be able to have a good.
On the events?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I had that on the
Year
agenda.
thing,
Okay.
to you by the July meeting.
Okay,
July 4th parade, still the same, 9 to 3, start at 4. Then we'll have a squirt zone, no squirt zone. They have a veterans float, so they would like anybody that has connections. Right now, they have 3 floats filled. And they said they'll keep getting tractors and trailers and just,
you a vet?
let's get on it. Eugene Grooms will be the grand marshal. He's super excited about that.
Good choice.
Yes, absolutely. Britton said that on October 17th, it's going from a fall festival to just a fall foliage train. Doesn't really mean anything to us, so we don't have to have any music or anything going on. He did say that during their meetings at the railroad, they did not know if there was any way we could start trying to get some more seating around the pavilion and transportation, like from the pavilion to the square. Chris brought up that during construction right now is not the time to put seats in the pavilion because that will all be used, but that's something we can definitely look into in 3 years when not the project's complete over here. And as for transportation, what state's the trolley in?
Terrible, but I looked at it the other night, I'd still like to see that thing running. But
and
I don't know if I wanna drive it or not.
That brought me up to something else that I'll bring up later when it's.
It's what?
It's stopping, it's not the drive, it's the stop.
Oh, okay.
Chris brought everything up there. Early voting is in July, so that's something that we're going to.
We gotta talk about our meeting tonight.
Okay, good. He brought up the second in July, that they're going to do the speed test, and then we just reminded everyone of Cody's family softball, not family, his brother-in-law's church softball tournament on June the 27th. So just reminder of that. And that was it. It's short and sweet.
Thank you. Questions of Laura? Okay, that gets us through our reports. We got some items of old business and new business. Budget report related matters. I don't have any budget amendments. I will have in July. But all 3 budget reports as of yesterday afternoon at 5:12 p.m. are in good shape. And this is the time of year when you want them to be in good shape, 14 days before the end of the year. Now, don't everybody rush out and start spending money. When I say good shape, we're in the black, but that doesn't mean we're like the federal government. We can start spreading money around. But we are in good shape there. Current or proposed projects, we talked about, Chris talked about the turntable and the meeting. Got an update today from Steve Jones on the sewer plant, sewer work. My question to him was, I'm assuming the date of June 30 is still on for completing the project. That's what Brian gave us in our last meeting. His response says, Brian, that'd be Conrad, says that they are on target to have the sewer online, and then there will be some additional cleanup after that. Cleanup is estimated to take another 30 to 45 days, and then they will be out of there. If they can get that, converted over by June 30, and the old line killed where things don't leak into it, that'll be a major step. But that's the response I got today. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to shoot them back to Steve. You may have seen Steve last night in the Lebanon sewer meeting, so he's got a lot going on, and then I understand Alexandria may be hiring him tonight. Isn't that what we saw? So he's got a lot going on, but I'll remind him that we're paying him too. He's done fine. I don't mean that to sound in any way disrespectful. Water and street paving, nothing going on now, but it will be. I know people get tired of hearing that, but it will be. Let's talk about the burn pile. We need to get that open for a little bit of time each week. People want it, some people want it, I don't know how much demand there is. But, while we're working on this, Kyle has talked about doing a composting thing, I like that too, long term. But why don't we open the burn pile on Wednesday afternoon from 1 to 4:30? And let a city employee be over here, watch what's going in there. And that'll be a start anyway, and then we can see. We don't really have the manpower to do it anymore. Somebody's gonna say, well, I work on Wednesday, I can't get there, and I understand that, but if we put somebody over on Saturday, we gotta pay overtime, and I don't wanna do that. So I would like for y'all to give permission at least to open it until the next meeting on Wednesday afternoon. How is it you eat an elephant, one bite at a time? We'll take it a bite at a time. So if somebody would make that motion, I'd like it, so I can get that word out.
I'll make a motion to.
I'll second.
Okay, and that'll be, we'll talk about it again at our July meeting to see how it's working. But Cody, I'll need somebody over here tomorrow from 1 to 4:30. I tell you what, let's make that 1 to 4. Yeah. Is that okay with 1 to 4?
What is gonna be what can we put over there?
You can bring limbs and stuff. This was the one that said you can't bring the foliage. You can't, and unless you got dead trees this time of year, that's all that's gonna go in there, but we'll have to watch it, Cody, make sure somebody doesn't put, and it may be a good idea now that we've had a pretty good rain to go ahead and burn what's over there and get it down, so we can tell more about what's going in there.
I know it's dry around it right now, but I'll get Chief Decker to come over with me.
Okay, well, don't set the hill on fire.
I hope not.
Okay, these guys know what they're doing, they spread a little water on. Okay, had a motion and second, everybody good with that? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, we were gonna talk about music video fees this time too. We were gonna talk about raising, are we ready to do that, or is that something?
We talked about 1 to 24-hour notice last time.
Yeah, we were talking about raising the fees, really.
Right now, we're at 1,500, correct? My memory serves.
We're at 1,500? Okay.
And my
Some-
understanding, that's extremely low for the
Yeah.
industry. So my thought earlier this week when the agenda came out was raise it to either 2,500 or 3,000. And if you give us less than 48 hours notice, there's another $1,500 fee on top of that for late notification.
That sounds fair with you.
So I'm thinking, make the motion that the standard fee be $3,000. If it's less than 48 hours advance notice, the fee's $4,500.
Okay? You putting that in form of a motion?
I'm putting that in form of a motion.
I'll second that.
Second, all right. Discussion? I think I remember somebody saying last time there were other places were getting 5, so that makes us competitive.
Do you
Okay,
think that 1,500 is too much?
For the less than 48 hours? We're still under the 5,000 that other places are getting, even with the late notice, so, yeah.
No, I think it's just a more respectful process, and if you're not going to, you have to pay to play, per se. I
Yeah.
mean, it's,
and I know that from time to, I say I know, I have experienced over the years, that sometimes the artist comes in and says, hey, I'm in between dates, you know, I'm somewhere on Thursday, somewhere on Saturday, but I can be there Friday and shoot a video. And they throw stuff together and make it happen.
And that may be the case, but.
But, no, I'm saying they could put the
It's
money.
the cost of them doing
Yeah.
business
Yeah, it is.
in the business they're in.
Yeah.
And also with the 48-hour notice, that gives us enough time to communicate with Amy and the chamber so she can get notification out to all the merchants that, you know, there's gonna be a video on, you know, coming up on this date.
Sounds good. All right, you got a motion and a second, we're ready to vote? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, unanimous. April, if you let Chief Henderlight know, because most of the time they contact him because they need the security. We got a vacancy on the Board of Zoning Appeals. I am going to recommend the appointment of Karen Casey to serve, and the appointment of Eugene Grooms as an alternate member. Our statute says that we have to have one member of the Planning Commission involved with the Board of Zoning Appeals. We can have alternates. The county has 2 for a 5-member. So I'm recommending we appoint Karen Casey as a full-time member and Eugene as an alternate. And he'll be surprised to hear this because I hadn't talked to him about it. But I think he'll be okay. If not, I'll bring you another alternate next time. But, so I'm recommending, I think y'all have to confirm that, I believe.
Yeah, I recommend that we appoint Karen Casey and Eugene Grooms as alternate.
Okay? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, discussion? That'll give us a full slate, at least in planning. I will tell you that I was meeting with Christopher Lawless this morning on some county stuff, and he said, I had heard y'all were looking at wanting to talk about your fees up there, and I said, we are. Once we get past the first of the budget year, let's talk about that, so. Okay, we ready to vote on that? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. I'm going to hold off appointing a railroad authority member and a historic preservation member, just because I hadn't talked to anybody. And I don't want you to think I took advantage of Eugene, but I've known Eugene a lot of years, and he'll do, if you ask him to do something, he'll do it, and I appreciate that. He's a good guy. And then I had on here a report on the Founder's Day event. Here we go.
How you guys doing?
Good, you?
I'm doing well, sir. So, I have one typo that Ryan caught real quick. I put 6 instead of 26, but I fixed it real quick.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm Jacob Swayze. I'm the historic Watertown president. You guys had asked last time, talked about the 5K and the Founder's Day, and you had asked for a breakdown of what was going to go on. The only thing that I had mentioned, where we were kind of going to do the festival stuff, either that Bob McComb had said I could use his space if I needed to. I would put on here, I would like to use the pavilion, and the green space to the right and left of the pavilion is what I'd really like to do, and just keep it on city property and keep it all collected right there. And then that will give easy access for folks that want to do the scavenger hunt to go right up Central Avenue and into town. Or since Bob was fine with the property being used, I've got to check with him, but I'm sure he'd be fine with people going across the little wood bridge and up Depot Street as well. But all of the festival games, as far as cakewalk, three-legged race, two-person relay, a water balloon toss at the very end of it, that will all kind of be to the right of the pavilion, just across South Central. The dunking booth and inflatables and face painting and all that will kind of be staged to the left side of the pavilion. And then the pavilion itself, I'm gonna put tables and chairs under there for people to have a shaded spot to eat. I know I talked to Miss April, she said the pavilion's first come, first serve. I'm gonna be there early in the morning. I know that it is, the pavilion was, I guess, originally there for people to do farmer's market and things like that. If the city would like, and I can get a list of people that are usually there, or that occasionally come, I'm happy to contact them and offer them up like a tent space or something like that, if they are still wanting to come out. That way, I'm not taking the pavilion from someone who has, wanted to use it or has been using it or anything like that. I know going by there on Saturdays is kind of hit or miss. Sometimes there's people in there, sometimes there's not people in there. So that would be my solution to it if you guys are okay with it. Just to kind of, I'm happy to reach out to those folks and let them set up nearby, and I'll provide a tent for them to set under.
Well, and you said, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to make sure, you said about first come, first served. That's generally the way it is on Saturdays, but if we are going to have an event there, we can reserve it.
Okay,
And,
because I can be there at 4 o'clock in the morning.
In advance, so people will know that, hey, it's not going to be available
Yes, sir.
that particular day, so. But, like this Saturday, it's just whoever wants to come in there, it's got produce. That, something you may not know, somebody may have told you, but that was built with agricultural money.
Yes, sir.
With a lot of grants, and so it was gonna be primarily for agricultural, so.
And then on the flip page, the second page is just the map of what the race is going to do. So there's a start finish. It's right there kind of at the end of South Central and Main Street. That's kind of where the start and finish is going to be, right in that area. And it'll go down to Waters, up, and then Silver Street, and then up to Forest, and then back around and back down Waters. And it'll come back Main Street to Commerce, Woodland, to Cornwell, and then down to the elementary school and around the parking lot right there, and then straight back to Main Street and down. And then, like I had talked before with Chief Interlight, we'll do a rolling opening as the runners are clearing. Those areas will completely open. And then also those areas too are gonna be, if the runners start spreading out, all of those intersections it's not gonna be like a barricade where you can't, there will be a barricade or cones, but there will be an officer there at those cross streets. So if there is somebody coming down Commerce and they need to get through, the officer can let them through in a break through the runners, or let them down through Statesville, like coming up, and because we're gonna keep one lane of Main Street open on the long stretch from Statesville down to the elementary school. We'll keep one lane open for people to be able to still move up and down in a slow manner. So it really should not hinder traffic very much, and the road closures will be minimal.
And Historic's paying for the extra police presence.
Yes. Historic's paying for the police presence, and any additional cones and things like, I'm gonna try to get somebody to donate me some cones. But just anything to do with the police and all that, I've already spoken to Chief Interlight and got a cost on what it's gonna be for, I think, 5 officers for the hours that I'll need. So, any questions? I'm super excited.
On a street like Waters,
Yes.
how will that work as far as if you've got runners coming this way, it's coming that way, and someone needs to get out of their house?
So with Waters Avenue, the police, I'm gonna make sure that Hinderlight has a way as well to be, well, I mean, they got their cruisers, but if they need something else, like a UTV or something like that, if there's a runner coming down, essentially, I'm just gonna have to ask somebody if they're needing to come out of their driveway to wait just enough to get out and go. If there is, I mean, it's gonna be, I might have to ask you to wait a couple of minutes for the runners to clear.
But I'm saying, if you've got a whole pack of runners coming this way, and they've come around, and then you still got like stragglers coming up, runners coming this way, walkers coming this way, you can't be at every house that entire stretch. So if I need to come out, who's to stop me if I'm coming out of my house in my driveway? Like, that's what I'm asking, just from a safety
And
perspective.
one comment on that, because we my dog walks me on waters on a regular basis. There's more traffic on that street than you realize. My only suggestion would be, instead of looping around and having the waters as two-way, when you come down Forest, come down another block and come up Maple Street, the little alley, let the little alley be the return back to Main Street instead of waters being
That
the
works.
return back to
I can
Main
do
Street.
that, not a problem.
Because distance-wise, you'll be the same, or very little difference.
Yes,
And
sir.
that way you got runners coming in, and Maple's the runners going out.
I can do that, not a problem.
Yeah, Maple's a low, Maple works good too, it's a low.
Yeah,
intersection.
there's-
It's very little traffic.
There's 2 driveways that come on to Maple,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Okay. Yeah, that's not a problem whatsoever.
There's still barrels behind.
No, sir, they are down at the, City Works area.
That's what we used for the mile long, was Cody gave us barrels and Mike gave us some cones and worked out well.
Okay, so what is the ask of us tonight to?
Oh, just give me approval. You gave me approval for the 5K, but you told me to put down on paper what was
Yeah.
going on for the festival.
So-
So I'm just looking to get approval.
So tonight's the night, right?
Yes, sir. Tonight's night, just get approval to use the pavilion and the city property, to the right and left of the pavilion, the green space there. And, I've got everything else rolling right along.
And I hate to sound like a broken record, but your liability insurance for the Duncan Booth and inflatables,
Historic has liability and we can add the
I was
city.
gonna say, as long as the city's added
Yeah.
for this event, we're good.
Yeah, and for people out there listening, or whether they're listening on TV or what, if you're gonna use city, it's just a given that we're gonna have to have the insurance. That's something we adopted a few years ago, and, so don't be surprised when we ask for that. I know you're not, but
Also, if any of you guys and ladies want to be in the Duncan booth, you let me know. It'll be warm outside. I'm going to ask the principals of all 3 schools, of the middle school, elementary, and high school. I figured the kids would like to dunk their principals, so I'm going to ask them. I'm going to volunteer for a portion of it. So if anybody wants to, so if not, I understand. Just no peeing in the Duncan booth.
doesn't sound like anybody's lining up for it. I do see a young lady over there that could, yeah, you know who I'm talking about. All right, is there a motion to approve this event and the presentation that's been made to us today?
I'll make a motion to approve the Historic Founder's Day event as presented.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Further discussion, questions, comments? Anything? All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And then just real quick, the transportation, I was back there kind of tucked in, you couldn't see my hand. I've looked in for transportation from the train to into town. They do people movers that can be pulled by tractors or vehicles. I just thought a tractor would be neat because it's Watertown and we're an agricultural area. I've got several different prices on those, but they run for a nice one that's covered. You're looking somewhere in the like $11,000 to $12,000 range, but they hold 20 people and they're a low entry step in. They've got a canopy top on them. You can go cheaper and they're more like a hay wagon style, but then you're having to take at least 2 steps up into it. So for people with mobility issues, that would be kind of hard. They still have sides on them, so you don't really have to worry about people falling out of them. But the ones that sit lower to the ground are just, they're a little more expensive, but they are more accessible for getting people on and off. So just food for thought for moving people. All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, that's all the old business I had on the agenda. Let me stop and ask, we got anybody wanting to talk on, out in TV land? No, sir. All right, thank you. We'll go on to new business. The biggie always in June is the budget and the appropriation resolution on first reading. Sent you out a memo on June 5. Well, I think I did. I sent it to some. Let me just briefly say the budget is a status quo budget. It does include a $1 per hour raise for all employees beginning with the July 2 pay period. I'm recommended that we make the city clerk position, move it into a full-time category. We've got to work here. There's no question about that. The cost of health insurance has increased by $83.01 per month per employee, and that's always a challenge, but we have our employees with health insurance, and there's no change in their coverage, just the premium that we pay. Chief Henderlight gave me a proposal, and Laura and Steve gave us a proposal that is bottom line the same, but he moved some line items around, figures, and that's fine. So other than that, it's pretty basic. So it is balanced. It provides a more revenue than expenditures, although it's not a great big deal of difference. But as y'all have heard me say before, when I budget conservatively with revenues, and usually they come in a little higher, and that gives us a little cushion during the year. So I'm recommending the budget and appropriation resolution, which is the same thing, to you on first reading tonight.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Well, y'all scare me sometimes. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you, sir. Any discussion? All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Scared me. Okay. The tax rate resolution is a certified tax rate. As you know, we went through reappraisal this year. The certified tax rate drops from 0.6027 to 0.3417. And it is designed to bring in the same amount of money as last year. And as it's said often, some will pay more, some will pay less, but the bottom line is we bring in the same amount. So I'll ask you to approve the property tax rate. We got to have it to fund the budget. Okay, got a motion and a second to approve the certified tax rate, and I want to again reiterate there is not a tax increase here. Ready to vote? Yeah, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, I've got the next thing, approval of any other budget matters for this year. I left that on there in case the budget didn't get approved and we had to do a continuation budget. I don't have a budget amendment for 25-26, but I will, but not tonight. So the next thing is a resolution calling for the election. We have the election of 3 aldermen this year, November the 3rd of 2026. And so the election commission, election administrator asked that we approve a resolution calling for the election. So we need to have a motion and a second on that.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to have an election. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carries unanimously. Let me skip down to a couple of things under informational items, and then I'll come back up to the last thing I want to ask you about. Early voting here for the August state and federal primaries and the county general election starts July 17. Our meeting date in July would be July 21, which is a conflict. So we are going to need to schedule our July meeting at another time. And I put down a date that's not going to work either. I had an option, but July 14th, the second Tuesday, can we do that? Will that
We're
work?
having court that night. so
Yeah,
we
but-
have to look at the time.
Uh,
6:30?
They're gonna start court at 4:30, we're done by 5:30, so if we wanna do 6 o'clock.
6.
Okay, last day will be fine.
So does that work for everybody, July 14th? Nobody on vacation or anything? Okay. Then we'll do the next meeting on the 14th. I had you sign tonight a notice of special call meeting. We will vote on the budget and the tax rate Monday night at 6:00 PM here. Every councilman has answered the call, and that will be all we consider. So there won't be any other action to be taken other than dealing with the budget. So that should be a short meeting, and you can tell whoever you can keep your supper hot. Hopefully we'll get there pretty quick.
Mike, what was the date, June 22nd?
June 22nd, that's this Monday,
Just make sure I remember.
6:00.
That's also the first day for pickup on elections, huh?
No, that's, this is June.
No, first day for re-election, that's the first day for pickup too, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know, I didn't look there, is it?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, I need to date this where y'all sign, so I'm not messing with your signature, I'm just putting a date in there. April, don't let me forget to give you this, because we need to get that advertised tomorrow. Already been mentioned about the parade, and we'll have fireworks, and mentioned the thing that's going on in Lebanon Saturday mornings. The 4th of July should be a great day. Hope it will be, and hope you'll come out, and everybody out there will come out and enjoy the parade and the fireworks. Only other item I have that needs consideration is the Tennessee Municipal League Conference is meeting this year, September 9th through the 13th in Kingsport. I went last year, been the last couple of years, I've always said that same opportunity is available for y'all if y'all would like to go. The city would pay your registration fee and your hotel rooms for the conference. I would like to be approved to go, but I will tell you, I don't think I'm going to. But if things were to work out where I could, I'd like to have that option, and anybody else that wants that option certainly can go.
Sorry, what were those dates?
July 9th through the 13th. They changed it. It used to run Saturday to Tuesday. Now they're doing Thursday to Friday to Monday, yeah. So, it's a good conference. They have some things there. Do what?
So I think you first said it was in September, but you just said it was in July.
Yeah, I'm wrong. September's wrong. Did I say? You're used to proofreading, aren't you? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. It's July. It's quick. And, I've got some things scheduled that will probably keep me from going, and then y'all have to excuse me, but I have a grandson that made the All-Stars in Scottsville, and he is playing in the Western Kentucky Regional Tournament next week, and we'll be playing in the state tournament what I'm told now. I don't understand how you get to the state if you don't win the region, but I'm told they'll be there, so. But in any event, if he's playing, I'll skip the conference this year. But anyway, I'd like to have, and if anybody else wants to go, please feel free to. It's a good thing.
So is this for us paying for the conference fees, paying for
And-
board, what is
Yeah, it'd be the conference fee and whatever the room rate would be to stay. And I will tell you that the hotel where the conference is being held is already booked up. And I checked and they had, after 2 or 3 days, they had one cancellation, they had one opening. When they quoted me a price, I said, no, I'm not gonna pay that. So, they've got some, what do they call them, spillover hotels? I didn't check the prices on those. But if you don't want me to go, it's fine. No, I don't care, I don't care. Yeah.
If there was anybody else that wanted to go,
Won't you
might as
make-
well talk about it.
Won't you make your motion where anybody can go? If they'd like to. If you
I would
don't.
make a motion that if any of our governing body here would like to attend the municipal meeting, that would be great.
I was second.
Okay. And I would encourage you to go if you have the time. It's good, but it's pretty good. Well, that's 250 miles away. Okay, ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, opposed? That carries. I'll let you know if I go, but I don't think that's going to happen. That's all I had from my part on here, so Al, you're first up tonight. Steve?
I did have that, burn pile, but you
Okay.
probably know it already.
Yeah, we, hopefully,
I think that'll work.
yeah, at least we're doing something. Steve?
The only thing I wanted to mention, we've got signs up at the pavilion about not driving on concrete. Yard sale weekend, I actually stopped and asked the gentleman to move his truck off the concrete, and he goes, why? And I said, and I pointed at the sign, and he acted like, but anyway, he'd driven right by the sign. This past weekend, I was coming home after the train, and there was someone parked under the pavilion, reloaded his van, and had a vendor booth. He could have easily parked outside. Anyway, is there any way we can put up some bollard posts over there on the front, even if it's just 4x4s? Can we do something?
It'll have to be something permanent or they'll take them down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I asked the police to go over there twice and, well,
I mean, it's just
It bothers
something we might want to consider that.
Interfere with any of the construction with the turntable, if we put those.
no, not,
No, I mean,
no.
they're not.
That
No.
was on my list to talk about too, someone suggested putting those post steps, so I'm all
If
for
you
it.
do
Right,
the,
it would be.
the
it would
metal
be-
style ones, you can do the pins with the locks on them, and if they had to be moved, then the keys would be ours to move
Yeah.
them. So
I mean,
it's
And
probably,
that's probably cheaper too.
That may be something we want to look at in terms of some type of bollard post, be it permanent or removable ones, to prevent that from happening, because
the ones
The
I've seen
signs-
use a trailer pin, like it's got just a push lock, they just push in, and you just gotta, that way it's quick and easy.
Well, I'm fine with that because it happened to me twice. Now, I didn't stop and talk to him, but I did have a discussion with Chief Enderlight, and I said, guys, this ain't that hard to see. Y'all are over here on the highway all the time. All you gotta do is look over there. But I was a little concerned the second time it happened.
I stopped because as I was coming up Central, the guy pulled his truck all the way up on the pavilion as I was.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, would you,
I'll do some research. I'll get with Cody and we can do some research to see what we can find as far as.
What if we put a gate like I did back here on the entrance to the burn pile?
well, and I thought about putting just a chain link fence up there with a gate. Problem is, people gonna drive around it.
Well, I know on that one side, you got Mr. Hunter's house, and it's hard to drive on his side because he's got his tree right there. That other side, you'd have to go down that gully, but
Yeah.
the middle part right there, I wouldn't have no problem putting a gate, because they probably, I don't know how wide.
I was thinking if you put up any bollards, you just put them on the front. People could still drive around them, but at least it would be an obvious, something that we aren't intending for you to drive in here, you shouldn't be driving in here, but the fact that we put up these
Yeah,
posts.
it's just,
I would say 3 in that area probably would work that way, because you just go right in front of the concrete slab, and pour 3 pots
Yeah.
with a ridge out. They got the metal sleeve for that ridge, and you pour them in there, you got a pin joint in them, so you can, yeah.
Well, I think that makes sense. The gate, I think we want it still to be easy for people to unload their produce in there and actually use it for that purpose.
Yeah.
Right. The gate, I don't think would be functional from a
Okay.
farmer's market perspective.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to impede people walking, you just want to impede people from driving.
Well, and I'm good with the bollards or whatever, but I would hope that it would look tasteful. You know, I don't want some fence post put up there that's crooked and, you know, let's put it up there and paint it and make it look decent. Because that is a fairly nice building down there. I know it's open air, but, okay, so you want to make a motion to do something, or you want to look at it and bring it
Well, I
back?
think we need to do some research on it and get some cost on it.
Okay.
And come back and do this. If
Wow.
that's agreeable to the county.
Is that all right?
We could, put some kind of barrier there until we get, just some movable barrier that we can move for the moment until we can get them put in. That way people will quit driving in there.
Easy through the summer.
Yeah.
I would be okay with that right there, even.
What we got, Cody, we can put up there temporarily?
Temporary, I could put, I've got the barrels that's down there at the shop. And that's really the only thing I have temporary that we could put, but those are easy to move around. And you got the kids skateboard down there, which I know not supposed to, but.
Yeah, and that's something we need to talk about too, because they're skating over here too.
Yeah,
I've been over here at night signing checks and they're going down the ramp here.
but yeah, I've got the barrels I can sit down there for right now until we get the valves and put them on.
What did you say? I was thinking about something else. I'm sorry, my mind wandered. What did you say you were going?
I said, I can just put the barrels up there for right now until we get the valves put up. 'Cause other than that, I don't have.
We can see how that works for a week or two.
They'll move on.
They might, but.
They will move.
Well, I still want the permanent choices, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, one of those concrete curblets would be good, like Caleb
But
said,
I'm
but yeah.
like you, if we know it's happening between 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock, why can we not be in that area during that time?
that area. We run up down this highway all the time.
So, come on.
And I'm glad we've got our department. They're a good department, but that ain't hard to see. It ain't like trying to catch a bank robber. Bad day to say that, though,
That
there's
is a
one
bad
out
day.
loose, yeah. Okay, y'all come up with something temporary and let's do something permanent in July 14th. Well, we want to put something nice up, and I'm talking about sturdy and nice and painted, don't you think? Not red, but, oh,
No, that actually needs to be probably yellow,
yeah, it does need to be,
caution yellow.
yeah.
Yeah, those Walmart ones that
Okay.
they have for the yellow plastic is over top of a removable pylon.
Right.
That's-
You buy the plastic sleeves, you go over metal pipe that are
Yeah.
different degrees.
So you really want your pipe to
I
be stainless.
get whatever makes it look good, tasteful. And purple's always good. Anything else? Ms. Laura?
So I had the pavilion, someone can talk about that. And then I just want us to think about maybe potentially hiring a part-time or something, grant writer. I think there's a lot of things out there that we could be getting as a city. We're gonna, if everything goes into play with the turntable and all, like, we're gonna need some upgrades in some areas. I don't know what that looks like, I don't know how much a grant writer is. But if we say, hey, here's our 2 things we want to focus on, find us a grant, write it for us, pay per grant, I don't know how all that works. But we've got a few grant writers here in town that I've heard are some great writers.
Okay.
I would like to let's
Why
take
don't you-
advantage of some of this. I can't do it, I'm a math and science person.
No,
but
and
it's-
that's tedious
It
work.
needs someone that knows what they're doing and knows where to search for and things like that, so.
You say there's people,
That would tie in with historic, with what
Right.
they did last month, trying to get us back in that state program with access to grants again.
so you think,
Katie knows somebody.
I'm pretty sure I know where you live.
Is there, if you got somebody here in town, to give us a proposal or something, or more than one somebody, I'm fine with that. Now, I'm not trying to throw water on it, I like the idea. But it sounds good to get a grant, but they're not all 100% grants like Joe got. And if you get a grant and you spend the money and you work for it, and then they come in and say it's a 60-40 grant, you gotta come up with 40% of $100,000, we might as well just not enter the contest. So, keep in mind, the grants you go after. I don't know how Joe got 100% one, but that's as good as you're gonna do. And we've had a couple, I think, Chief Hinderlight may have gotten a couple of 95.5s one time. And we,
Well, you got a few.
yeah, we can, but, the 50-50 and stuff, most of the time don't work too good. They put all the restrictions on them and use our money.
The other thing to remember is you have to write reports after to account for the money.
Yep.
Your grant writer may or may not be available for that, or have the information to do it.
Yep. And we're finding that out in the recorder and the clerk's office with all the stuff that's going on that we're doing here, there constantly. You need to watch this hour-long video, this seminar, get this report in, and that's one of the things that the work here has really increased. So, but I'm fine with it. Don't take that as not being
Right,
interested. Okay.
When you have to do these things, is it just kind of like in 6 months do a follow-up, or is it like a yearly do a
It
follow-up?
depends on the scale of the project.
Okay.
I'll look into it a little.
Please. Okay. What else you got in
That's
that
all I
notebook?
have. I've already answered my
All that
question.
writing?
I had 4 things, and I've already
Okay.
answered all 39.
All right, okay. Cal?
The original fire truck,
Yeah.
is trying to, I think it will fit, best I
Okay.
can tell measuring it. Need to ask them, and I know it's the city's building, but they have built the shelf in there, and against that wall it's new. I think it'll fit minus one of the bottom legs. I believe we'll have to 45 it and tee it back into the wall, because the back bumper of the fire truck is a wee bit long, so.
Who put the shelf in there?
It's not us, it had to be them doing the oil, because it's a newer shelf, because it's just too new compared to the stuff in the room.
At one time, but I don't think it's been recently, but the football program stored some stuff in the bay over there, and they put up some shelves in the bay. I don't know if you remember that or not, Jeff. Bobby Hamlet was doing that.
It could have been them, I'm not sure how old it was. It's fairly new because it's cleanish, but because it's got their wrenches hanging on it and all their oil supplies are on it.
But it's gotta come out for us to get.
I think the shelf is fine, we just need to cut one of the bottom downward legs and tee it into the wall, so it's,
Okay.
but I think
All right,
that'll work.
I got you.
So, it'd be more into the fire department if they can get the
Okay.
brakes happy and working. But, yeah, I think that'd be good to get it
So,
sheltered, because it's in pretty darn good condition, but it's sitting outside now and it's withering, so.
okay, so you wanna go ahead and make a motion to
Yeah,
do that, move the
move the fire truck.
old fire truck over there?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion.
And somebody said, maybe you told me when we talked the other day, that if they needed it for something,
Yeah,
that we pull it out on the
has to
street.
run and drive
Okay.
to get it where it can move, and it should fit in the alley beside it while they're changing oil, but,
it'll also fit in pretty well with these folks that get off the train and come visiting.
yeah.
Want
I
your
like it.
picture made?
Yeah.
For the time being, until we can get the brakes and get the parts for it, try to figure out how much that's gonna cost just to drive from there to there. I can have it hauled over there. I have access to tow trucks that can get it over there. It will move under its own power, it's just one of the brakes is hung up. And I don't know which one, I haven't jacked it up yet. But it drove itself to where it's sitting at. But I would like to go ahead and get it put in there, to get it out of the rain.
Okay.
Because the seals aren't sealing anymore, and we noticed that the other day, so.
There's some water in the floor already, so
So you making that motion?
I'd like to make that motion.
Is there a
Fire
second?
truck To the old city hall.
I'll second it, but when you get it in there, will you be able to get it out on that oil changing day?
Yes.
Without it being fixed?
So, I'm gonna get with him and we're gonna get it jacked up at some point, get the wheels off. They got split rim tires on it, so they're a little more difficult to get off. And it might be the e-brakes locked up, I don't know, but yeah.
Because I think they used that the first Saturday.
Yeah, it seems like to be extremely random when they're using it, but yes. But that is the goal, is to make it where it's self-propelled, so it can be parked in, either on the square or in the alley.
Within the last 8 months, I had the carburetor rebuilt, had basically a new carburetor put on. So, I mean, it starts up, it's going to need a battery, because the battery's in the shop. And I don't know, maybe a question for him as far as where that money comes from, and if it's just gonna go over there, or if we've got a battery we can borrow, put in there or something.
We can get down to the brakes, I'll donate you a battery, we'll get a battery.
Seems like I remember, and this is dangerous, but when we talked to them about doing the oil change for moms, didn't we put a stipulation on it that if we ever needed our building back, we would get it back?
For some reason, I think it did.
I think so
And
too.
I don't think that was an open-ended permanent.
No.
And it's a great thing they're doing, I've got
Yeah,
no problem,
yeah.
so like, it's awesome, because
But-
people need help, but.
Sounds like we can balance it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess my thought on that, if there's a conflict for 1 month, one for Saturday, we may just have to have a conflict saying that, sorry, we need our building this month for what, for that.
But I think we can make a balance out of it. Okay, I've got a motion. Did I get a second?
Question, Mayor?
Yeah.
Might be a silly question, but how much stuff do they have in there to run that service? Is like they bringing most of it with them, or do they?
They've got just, like I said, this section of shelf they built in the very back. It just has some oil filters, their wrenches, and some oil, just basic necessities. There's not a lot.
Are they really committed to using that particular space?
That I don't know. I haven't actually.
They have done it over the years, but I think they've slacked off quite a bit.
I'll say, if we can get the old truck put in there, it'd be a whole lot easier to pull one of my vehicles out of our bay. And, I mean, it's a covered roof and it's open and we can put it back in at any given time. It'd be a lot easier to move. I'd be plenty open to have them over at our building.
I will say one thing on that. You need to check your building statistics EPA wise on making sure that they take their oil and what they're doing with it, because it will.
Yeah, as long as we don't have to dispose of it.
Yes.
But you're suggesting then they could move what they're doing over to here on a certain day when they gave you notice?
Yes, sir. It'd be very
That's
easy
good
to pull
offer.
one of those trucks out. I've got plenty of space around it. I mean, it's somewhat controlled too. I mean, as long as I have space on the wall, we can put a few things, as long as they take the oil with them, we'd be more than happy to do that. And it'd be a lot easier to move some of those vehicles rather than try to pull that out and move it across the square.
Well,
That would give us more time to get the brakes figured out.
Yeah, that's a fair offer.
Make sure we do a good job with it.
Well, and I'm sorry, but I was supposed to have asked about this before the meeting tonight, and I didn't. So I apologize for that, but, that's a very fair offer, Chief. Okay. All right, so remind me what the motion was.
Motion to move our original fire truck into old town hall's bay.
Other questions, comments, discussion?
Can we open the bay on train days? And I guess you'd have to have somebody over there.
We can do that, yeah, Chief.
So I think the plan originally was to make it kind of like a touch a truck thing with like history, like for the Jazz Festival,
Yeah.
to kind of see the event, which that's gonna take time to build, and come up with, but make it to where we can pull it out on train days or festival days, have something with John Jewell, some of his history and, any other history we can get with the fire department.
All of that obviously would have to come after we get the brakes fixed and then the proper work.
But I think we can do that. That was one of the things that appealed to me, is it'll be over there, because I remember the first or second train that came in here, I was shocked at the people that wanted their picture made in front of the barber pole. And they, and they looked, and I'm thinking,
It's a barber pole.
yeah, but they, it was a big deal. And, the train and, little kids, I'm sure, go in there when they come over there and they want their picture made on the, or their parents want to make the picture on the fire truck. So I think it's a good publicity thing, so. I like the way y'all thinking. Okay, got a motion and a second, y'all want to vote? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, what else you got? You doing
I have a
good?
few questions about the trolley, since we were already talking about that. What would be involved in making it functional or move it from its current location to somewhere else?
It needs some work, obviously, you might want to look at it and see. I would like to see that. I always thought it was unique for our community. And we used to use that to take folks from the train to town, but we took folks who needed the assistance. We just didn't let able-bodied people ride it, because at 400 people, you can't run over 20 at a time.
Yeah. Well, second question, I guess, on that is, if we could get it functioning, running, and safe again, would that be something that could maybe be adapted into the train area? Because it's kind of fits that of what's going on, and if it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain discussion area of work to go back, to move into the, the whole concept and training campus and all that kind of stuff. Terry and I talked a little bit about that kind of thing today. So.
And I guess also stacked on top of that, if we can make it safe where it does function, and that would also be a transport from train to square if someone
Yep.
so wished to
Put it in
volunteer
the
for that.
parades and.
I can look at it and see what it needs and go from there, but yeah, I didn't know how.
Yeah, I think the
It's not
first thing
super
is
accessible.
figure out the
Those
viability.
they're big
Yeah.
steps.
Become making it running again, and from there, there's lots of ideas.
I think functionality of the engine probably isn't super bad. I think it's a list of other
Yeah.
odd items that are questionable, so.
Yeah.
Batteries and gas.
And the movability of the train to town is more about the accessibility for people who need help.
Yeah, that's just a,
That kind of
maybe
thing.
that could be used for
Yeah,
that,
I'm
but
talking through, it's kind of, it's not just about moving people around, it's
Yeah.
about moving a small number of people who can't walk the distance.
yeah.
So, yeah, there are people that stay on the train because they cannot get off of the train.
Well, they have to get off the train, you're not allowed to stay on the train. Yeah, that's.
Or they stay at the pavilion. maybe.
Yes, that is, but everybody gets off the train. You have to be able to get one train off the train.
They just stay on that.
They just stay down there.
Because they can't walk to.
I suppose that I will check and see
Please.
what we need to possibly do to make it functional.
Yeah.
I'm sure the interior is degraded quite a bit too, and a whole bunch of other stuff, so, yeah, but I'll see what I can look at.
I was riding down the interstate about 3 weeks ago, and somebody was driving a trolley down the interstate. And I don't know if you know, but that's how, that man right there was going down the interstate, and somebody was taking that trolley to get rid of it. And he
He's
stopped,
105 now, if it's the same guy. If he was old when I flagged him down.
yeah, he stopped and bought it.
Okay.
And then that's how it wound up here.
All right.
And, you know, Jeff, being the good salesman he is, bought it and then came back and sold it to us. And, but it's been a good part of our history, but not recently. Okay, I appreciate you taking, do that.
I'll look and see what I can see.
All right.
After we get some lost spray, because it's,
Yeah.
when I walked over there was
Well, that's
some
your-
unfriendlies over there. so
That's your area, man.
I'll
We
get
can
it.
count on you. All right. Anything else?
That's all for me.
Caleb?
I was gonna bring it up to Chief Hinterlight, but since he's not here, maybe you can pass it along, but I would like to see, just as a town, us kind of crack down a little bit more on our codes. I've noticed a lot of overgrown yards, junk cars, junk in general, and I don't know where we're at on that as far as with the police department, but I would like to see it enforced a little bit heavier.
I've got a report on that, and I think you'll like.
Okay.
And it came together this morning about 11:30 in that meeting I was talking about with Christopher Lawless. We have this joint planning contract with the county where they do all our zoning and everything. They are now gonna take over our codes enforcement.
Wilson County?
For, the county will for us. It'll be part of our contract We had talked about meeting Steve and
Right.
Reevaluating.
Meeting around this time of the year.
well, I mentioned that to Christopher, and Mayor Hutto was in there this morning, and we're gonna do that probably after things settle down in the next few weeks, election, everything, all that stuff. But they're gonna start doing that. I file all the legal stuff for the county when we go after somebody, so if they have to file suit here in the city, I won't be able to do it, but Tim Davis or somebody can. So that's effective right now.
Okay, well, with that, will we still get the money from that, or will that go to the county?
No, it'll go to the county. We pay them, we paid them $6,500 for what Christopher does for us. That's, I don't want to go too public with that, that's a good deal.
I just meant like when they're fined, will the fines go to the county at that point?
I'll tell you what I do, I don't want to hold y'all up, but when we take somebody in with the county, we give them most of the time 60 days to clean up. And if they don't, on day 61, a $50 day fine starts being levied. And most of the time they clean up because they don't want to pay that fine.
Right.
But I've got one now that we did 5 years ago, and now they want to sell their property, and we got a lien on it, and we're gonna get $14,000 out of it. And it'll go to the county. But anyway, I think that's a big step in improvement, because I know a couple of places you're talking about.
Yep.
And frankly, they're disgusting to me, to people who take care of their property. You know?
Thank you.
What else you got, buddy?
That's it.
Who's gonna win the World Cup? You're a soccer man, so tell me.
I want to say the US, but it's a long shot, so.
I don't watch a lot of it, but man, it stirs people up, doesn't it? In all these countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just read something where, did y'all see it? I just read it before I came in here. Iran played in San Diego last night, and as soon as they got done, they sent them out of the country.
Yeah.
Said, you can't stay. And I thought, oh, man, these are just athletes. You know, they're not. But anyway. All right. Y'all tired of hearing me talk. What you got, Miss April?
Nothing.
Nothing? Anybody? Anything? Anybody on TV land?
No, sir.
Personal best for me, I've asked 3 times. Anybody out there? You get your knitting done?
I mean, it keeps me from talking too much. I mean, it's supposed to be.
You said that. You said that, I didn't say it. You said that. All right. Thank you, sir. Yep.